Are you trying to figure out how to remove hard inquiries fast? Well, in this video, I will show you exactly how to remove hard inquiries from your credit report within the next 24 hours. What's up, winners? My name is Naam. If you're new here, welcome. Here we talk all things personal finance and credit. Start now by subscribing so you don't miss out on any future videos. So before I dive into the nitty-gritty, let's briefly go over what hard inquiries are. Typically, when you apply for new lines of credit, a credit card company or the lender will pull your credit. This is what's called a hard inquiry. They typically can drop your credit score anywhere between 3 to 7 points, sometimes more or less, but this is what's the average. Hard inquiries, they play about 10% of your overall credit score. The highest credit score that you can achieve is 850. So if you were to take 10% of that, hard inquiries can play as high as 85 points of your overall score. They typically stay in your credit report for a maximum of 2 years. They generally have less of an effect after year 1, but even if you have too many hard inquiries, you still can get denied from new lines of credit due to the fact that you may be seen as desperate for credit. These are the only type of inquiries that do hurt your credit score. There are other inquiries such as soft pulls or soft inquiries, and also pre-screen offers. Whenever you do get pre-approved for a credit card or check a credit score on Credit Karma, this will result in a soft inquiry. This by no way has any effect on your credit score, and you can do these all day. As for pre-screen offers, credit card companies and lenders, they can have access to some of your credit information, then they can send out some promotional offers. You will generally see this in the mail and sometimes via email. Now, let's move on to how you can dispute hard inquiries off your credit report. There are typically 3 ways that you can dispute these hard inquiries. You can dispute it online, via mail, or through the phone. I never recommend disputing anything online just due to the fact that you are putting a lot of your limitations on your rights that are protected under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The second method of disputing is by mail. This is my absolute favorite way just due to the fact that you are fully protected under the FCRA, and this is traditionally how credit repair companies tackle negative information on your credit report. And for the last way to dispute hard inquiries is by doing it over the phone. For the purpose of this video, to get a 24-hour hard inquiry removal, this is the way to do it. Even though when you hear something like this, like removing hard inquiries from your credit report within 24 hours seem too good to be true, this is not necessarily the case because it is very possible. So depending on when you watch this video, this will be the quickest way to remove hard inquiries. But if you stick until the end, I'll teach you how to achieve even better results. The first step that you need to do prior to removing these hard inquiries is get access to your credit report. You can get access to some of your inquiries through Credit Karma, which is a free app, but they may not have all the inquiries that are actually on the credit reports that are reporting to the credit bureaus. So I recommend getting your free credit report from annualcreditreport.com. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you are allowed to get access to your credit report at least once a year. During the making of this video, you can get access to your credit report for free every single week all the way through April 2021. Once you plug in your personal information and answer a few questions, you should be redirected to the credit bureau's website. From there, now you should get access to your credit report where you can see all of your credit information. When you scroll to the very bottom of this report, you should see something labeled as hard inquiries. Every company that is listed there are companies that have pulled your credit report within the last 2 years. This is the first step that you need to do so you know exactly what hard inquiry that you're going to be addressing. The next step of how to remove hard inquiries is to physically call the credit bureaus themselves. If you guys are not aware, there are 3 major credit bureaus, which is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And each one of these credit bureaus, they have different information reported to them, and they also have different credit scores. So depending on the credit card company or the lender, they may pull 1 or 3 of these credit bureaus. All of these companies' numbers will be listed in the description below. So once you decided to contact the credit bureaus, there will be an automated system where you need to be directed to the fraud department. If they don't give you an option to do so, or they require you to say something, then just say that you would like to remove fraudulent hard inquiries from your credit report. From there, they will just redirect you to somebody who can help you with your dispute. Whenever you are making this call, just make sure that you have a legitimate reason for disputing the hard inquiry. So let me give you an example. Let's just say that you went around shopping for a car. When you got to the car dealership, they may ask you for some personal information like a driver's license, maybe a social security number to see what kind of rates that you can get pre-approved for. The key word here is pre-approve. Whenever a pre-approval happens, this is a soft inquiry and it does not have any negative effects to your credit score. But there has been many times in the past where they said that they would not pull your credit, then a few weeks later, you will see 20 different types of inquiries on your credit report. This is actually in violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, since you did not give them the authorization to pull your credit. Typically, for someone to pull your credit, you will need them to authorize them to do so, whether by electronic signature or a physical signed document. So whenever you are calling the credit bureaus, just don't say that I want to remove this hard inquiry because they did not approve me for my credit application. This would not fly and it would not work. The only way that you can dispute items off your credit report is if they are fraudulent, inaccurate, or unverifiable. Another legitimate reason on why you can dispute a hard inquiry is if you cannot recall if you did the hard inquiry. This is a valid reason. If you cannot recall that you did a hard inquiry, it is up to the credit bureaus to investigate and confirm whether or not that you did. Typically, if they cannot verify this information, then the hard inquiry would just have to be removed. So this is pretty much the nitty-gritty of how to remove hard inquiries within 24 hours. If successful, you should see it updated on your credit report within the next week or so, or whenever your Credit Karma app does refresh. But here are some special things to take into consideration before you do this. Only dispute items that are not connected to any open accounts. If you try to attempt to dispute any hard inquiries that are tied to open accounts, this can possibly close that account as well. Meaning that if you had an account that had a long history, not only you would lose that account, but you would also decrease your credit score. The reason being is that your account is no longer aging and you also decrease your overall credit utilization. I see this a lot happening with individuals who request for a credit limit increase because since they did not get the increase, they try to remove this hard inquiry. I highly recommend to avoid this at all costs because the benefit does not outweigh the risk. Now let's just say that you were unsuccessful when you are disputing the hard inquiry over the phone. If you were unsuccessful, then you could go ahead and try again if it does not reflect on your new credit report. But before you do that, there are certain steps that you can take to better your odds. So which brings me on to my next point, how to get better results. The first one being is placing security freezes on public records and other credit bureaus. The best places to place security freezes are with LexisNexis, Innovis, and SageStream. There are plenty of other credit bureaus out there or public record aggregators, but I feel like these are the ones that can improve your odds. So LexisNexis is a place that stores public information such as names, addresses, utility bills, and also court data. As for SageStream and Innovis, these are credit bureaus that are similar to the big three. So they do store credit information and they also have their own credit scoring model. These credit bureaus are commonly used by retail creditors and car lenders. All of the links to these companies will be in the description below. It typically takes anywhere between 3 to 30 days for a security freeze to be in place. And once they are in place, then you can go ahead and call the credit bureaus to reopen your dispute. But before you call, I would just make sure to wait to get the confirmation. Usually you will get a letter in the mail with a PIN. Whenever you do get this letter, just make sure you take a picture of it or store this letter in a safe place in case that you need to lift that security freeze. Now let's just say that you place the security freezes and you attempt to call the credit bureaus and there's still no luck. This is where I recommend sending a physical letter. Sending letters is the best way, in my opinion, to remove any negative marks from your credit report. All of the major credit repair agencies still fix credit via snail mail. The reason behind this is how the Fair Credit Reporting Act is written. Any disputes by mail fully protects you and your rights. I do have a free DIY inquiry letter that you can use in the description. I also have a package of letters that you can purchase if you do have any other delinquencies as well. Now that brings me to today's sponsor, which is myself. I'm currently launching my DIY hard inquiry removal course. In this course, I will teach you insider tips and tricks of the exact step-by-step process that credit repair agencies and myself use to remove hard inquiries. All of the necessary letters are also included. So depending on when you watch this video, it may or may not already be launched, but I currently do have a waitlist down in the description and I'll let you guys know whenever it does officially launch. But before I go, let me give you guys a heart-to-heart. Credit repair is a process. We currently live in a day and age where we want instant gratification. Even though this video is all about removing hard inquiries within 24 hours, this is an exception. The majority of negative or delinquent items on your credit report can remain on your credit report anywhere between 7 to 10 years. And to repair a person's credit, it can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months to get good results. Sometimes it can be sooner and sometimes it can take much longer. Because when you are trying to repair your credit by sending in letters, you want the credit bureaus to respond within 30 days. By the time that you send a letter for them to process it and send it back, this can sometimes take as long as 45 days. Sometimes you can remove it within the first letter, but a lot of times it takes multiple rounds of letters and persistence to get the credit bureaus to remove any delinquency. The one thing that I am glad about is if you guys took the time to watch this video, I know that you guys are definitely trying hard to better improve your credit score and your financial situation, which is much better than the majority of individuals out there. So for that, keep up the great work. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments and I try to answer as many as I possibly can. If not, I'll see you guys in my next videos.